Meaning of types of laws. Division of types of laws. The law can be divided into various types of laws, depending on which criteria will be used. For example, if we divide the law according to legal systems, the law will be divided into written codified law, civil law, and case law, precedent, common law. If we divide the law according to parties' relationships, the law will be divided into private law and public law. This context here will mention the division of types of laws into domestic laws and international laws. Domestic laws. Domestic laws have different forms as follows. Constitution. Constitution is the highest form of law in governing the country. Thailand had the first permanent constitution on December 10, 1932. Therefore, the Constitution Day is celebrated on December 10th of every year. Act. Act is a law that is enacted by the king by and with the advice and consent of the National Assembly of the Parliament. Emergency decree. Emergency decree is a legislation enacted by the king with the advice of the cabinet. The emergency decree is enacted under two circumstances. 1. An urgent law which is needed for national security or public safety or to avert public calamities such as riots, rebels, and border fighting. 2. A tax or financial currency related law. Additional contents. The organic acts or organic laws are acts that would give the detailed content to constitutional articles. Royal decree. Royal decree is a legislation by the cabinet. The enactment will only be allowed provided that there is a higher form of law empowering the cabinet. Royal decrees are such as election, parliamentary dissolution, ministerial regulation. Ministerial regulation is a legislation by the cabinet whereby it is drafted and proposed by the minister of each ministry. Code of legislation. Code of legislation is the legislation issued by local governments such as Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, Administration Pattaya City, Subdistrict Administrative Organization, and Municipality in order to control and develop the cities, towns, districts, and subdistricts in order. International law. International law means the law that states relations between states and between international organizations in the form of framework agreement between states on a particular issue or in the form of state members' cooperation on particular matters, including rules with respect to international human rights. Declaration. Declaration is an official statement expressing state intention that an act will be made or refrained with respect to a particular matter, such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Treaty. Treaty is a formal written agreement between two or more states or countries on a particular subject, such as the Treaty of International Law Enforcement Cooperation, an investigation and prosecution of serious crimes. Additional contents. Code of laws or legal code is the collection of laws of the same areas and has legislative enactment systematically. The code of laws is codified comprehensively and contain all cross-references to other statutes and sections. The code of laws has the same level of hierarchy as acts. 4 basic codes are Civil and Commercial Code, Criminal Code, also known as Penal Code, the Civil Procedure Code, and the Criminal Procedure Code. After the laws have been passed, it has to be published in the Royal Gazette. That any particular law has been published in the Royal Gazette constitutes general announcement to people in general. As the saying goes, ignorance of the law excuses no man. Convention. Convention is an official statement expressing voluntary intention of acting in compliance with a particular rule. This provides an opportunity for a state or government to participate by means of submitting a membership application, such as Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, 1973, cites the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, 1992, and Convention on Wetlands of International Importance, especially as Waterfowl Habitat, 1971, Ramsar Convention. Protocol. Protocol is an international agreement under the framework of convention, which specifies in steps or details, such as the Kyoto Protocol, which was supplemental to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Vocabulary. Constitution, Code, Act, Royal Gazette, Emergency Decree, Royal Decree, Ministerial Regulation, Hierarchy of Law, Conflict, Code of Legislation, Declaration, Treaty, Convention, Protocol.